Hi, this is Barry Lewis along with Mike Brown, and welcome to our look back at the state championship football games in classes 6A through 4A, as well as a look back at the 2012 high school football season. And Mike, what a season it was, and when you look at the 6A, 5A, and 4A state championship games, it was sort of like a return to glory for three tradition-rich programs.
Yeah, Jenks wins again, Clinton wins again, and Carl Albert wins again. That adds up to what, 13, 11, and 16 championships?
Yes, and it was the victory's very sweet for all three programs. It had been a little while for those programs which are used to winning on a fairly regular basis the gold ball. Jenks hadn't won since 2007, Carl Albert since 2009, and after a 1-5 start, they weren't expecting to win this year necessarily in Clinton. It had also been a few years. Mike, let's look at the championship games in 6A. Jenks jumped on Norman North with 35 points in the second quarter and romped to a 55-20 victory. Your thoughts on the game?
Well, it showed again what a great program that Jenks has. But definitely Trayvon Baree, a player that I've been fascinated to watch this year, my first year to watch Trayvon, really I think set them apart. They had a lot of terrific athletes. Of course, Braden Caleb had a great game as a senior, and Jordan Smallwood, Trey Miachewski. So you know, my hat's off to Coach Trimble winning I'm not sure how many.
His
10th state title.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in the paper this morning, as a matter of fact. Just congratulations to him for winning it again for the first time in 4 years, or 5 years.
Just a complete performance by Jenks, offense, defense, and special teams. And the bad news for 6A opponents next year is that Jenks has most of its defense coming back. In 5A, it looked like East Central was, for 3 quarters, it looked like East Central might come away with the gold ball, but in the end, Carl Albert was just too much, scoring 17 unanswered points in the fourth quarter to beat the Cardinals 24-8. Mike, your thoughts on that game?
Well, depth. East Central had a terrific team that relied on about 15 or 16 very, very good seniors, plus sophomore quarterback Trayvon Cherry. And really, they ran into a team that was probably able to get after the passer better than any team they'd played all year. Cherry had a very difficult time running for his life. And in the end, I think East Central's defense played pretty well, but in the end, they let Stephen Thompson pop the 156-yard play that kind of helped Carl Albert get over the top. And you know, I think depth beat the Cards.
All right, Mike, when we look back at the 2012 football season, what a season it was, what individual moment or game stands out to you?
Well, I thought about that for a long time, but I think it's got to be the first round game between Kelly and Coweta. The fact that they're such rivals, that they've met in the playoffs so many times, and then the fact that Kelly roars out to a 34-0 lead at halftime, and everybody, including me, thinks the game's over, and Claremore comes out and scores the next 28. Might have been 34-7 at the half, but Kelly was ahead 34-0, and Claremore scores the next 28 points, and with 6 minutes to go in the game, has a chance to win the game. Truly an amazing night. Two programs that are very proud, and that was an exciting game for me. What about you?
My top moment, or most memorable moment, also involves Coweta. East Central was at Coweta. East Central had just learned it was going to have to forfeit the first 4 games of the season, and they're down late in the first half to Coweta, and it's looking pretty bad for the Cardinals. And then a play that I don't think I'd ever seen in 3 decades of covering high school football. Coweta misses a field goal short. It wasn't blocked in return for a touchdown. It was a kick that was short, and Stan Von Taylor, the outstanding OU commit for East Central, do-it-all player, he returns the field goal, the missed field goal, 85 yards for a touchdown that completely changes the game around and maybe changes East Central's season around, and that led them to the state championship game. Well, thanks for joining us this season as we took a look at high school football, and we'll look forward to seeing you again in 2013.